Hello and welcome back. So this is part 2 of my mailbox swap, and I am going to be showing you how I decorated it and the goodies that I sent to my swap partner. I got confirmation that she received it, so I went on to make or edit my video so I can post it. What I'm doing here is I have this pattern paper that has all these letters that kind of looks like Scrabble, and I thought that it would be fun to include her name or put her name on the little mailbox with these ones and make it look like it was Scrabble pieces. So the way that I did this, I wanted to add dimension, and I just stacked these letters individually about, I think it was 5 or 6 times, and I just kept stacking and stacking and stacking until it got the dimension that I wanted. Once I was done with stacking all of them, I kind of trimmed it around, and I trimmed the edges to kind of make it a little bit circular, so it wasn't quite square. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a rounded corner, and I did the same thing to all of the letters. So I am just showing you one because I had actually misspelled her name. I spelled it with an I, and her name is actually spelled with a Y. So good thing that I confirmed that before I put it all together and sent it off. So one thing that I did forget to put, or to include on my last video, was when I did the little flag, and that was because I didn't make the flag till I was actually going to embellish the box. So I made a little flag that was 2 by 1.5, and the little flagpole was about 3/4 of an inch by 4, and I'm just kind of trying to see how it is going to measure. So for my little square flag piece, I cut 2 of them to put together, and so that way I can put one on each side. So I just labeled it right, or glued it right on top, and I did the same thing on the other side. And after I was done with that, I went ahead and trimmed the corners, and using my corner rounder punch to kind of give it a more finished look, just making sure that all the edges were even. And I think this little flag was so adorable. So this was a Valentine's theme swap, and so I tried to make my little box to be not 100% Valentine, so that way she could use it for other things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just Valentine's. But obviously when you add hearts, that's what comes to mind, right? I had a whole bunch of die cuts ready, of these little word die cuts that said hello, sweet, heart, love, and different things. And I thought that putting this hello one would look really nice, but using the pink one was kind of like muted onto the pink, so I decided to use the blue one. So I'm just using my hot glue gun to glue this little heart, and this is one of those glitter foam hearts that I showed in one of my last videos, that I use Mod Podge to kind of contain the glittery mess. And I'm just putting the hello right next to it, and I was trying to use my punch to round that corner, but it was not fitting, so I just went ahead and kind of trimmed the edge with my scissors, so it was no problem. So if you don't have a corner rounder punch, no worries, you can just make it yourself. And it's kind of funny when I'm trying to think of what I'm doing, I tap my fingers. So I think it's funny when I'm doing the voiceovers and I see it. It's just something that I laugh at. But anyway, just trying to decide how I can decorate the other side of this little flag. And I just put one of those flowers that I cut out of that Pebbles paper pad that I really, really love. So for my third piece of the base that I mentioned in my last video, or listed on my last video, I actually cut it in the color pink, like this really soft pink, to put it on the bottom. So the base is actually 3 layers, so that way it makes it a little bit stronger, but I wanted it to give a finished look. Here I'm just trying to eyeball where I am going to be putting my little flag, and I am going to be punching it. Now I was using my regular a regular hole punch that is about I think that's about 1/8 of an inch, or so. It's the very, very tiny, it's not the standard size, but it doesn't go in too far, so I actually ended up having to put the flag a little bit closer to the edge, but it worked out fine. And then I had some of these little brads that I was using to put on the flag so that way I can move it back and forth. And it was actually not going in, you know, not sticking, like not standing up. So what I did, I just added a little bit of cardstock on the one side and make sure that I tightened it, and it worked fine. And then I'm choosing some of those rosettes that I made to put on the front. Now this one was my favorite, and I wanted to use it so that way you could use it to, once it's holding, to like a little handle to open your mailbox door. So you can very easily pull it out, but using that little handle was a little bit helpful. And that's why I wanted to have my hot glue gun handy also, so that way I can glue those extra parts that it will stay there, pretty strong. So I am using these beautiful floral die cuts to decorate, the edge of the mailbox. And I think that with those little polka dots looks very, very pretty, and just put in those. So I was done on that side, and now it's time to decorate on the other side. So on this side where the flag is, I wanted to put her name. So my recipient's name, or my partner's name, was her name is Twyla. I think it's a very unique name. I'll have to ask her what if you know what the meaning is, but I think it's a pretty cool name. And like I said, I was using my hot glue gun because I wanted this to adhere, since it was going to be a little bit dimensional, and I didn't want it to take too long for it for the glue to dry. So I am just kind of gluing them, and I was trying to make sure that I had even spacing on all of them. So I glued the first and the last letter first, and then from there I moved on to the rest of my letters. Now I know that, like, sometimes when I make my videos, when I speed them up, it's some of the images or the things kind of cut off a little. So I apologize if it does look a little choppy, but I didn't want to leave the whole video, for me explaining what I was doing, because, it was pretty simple. So this is what I'm doing to decorate my box, and it's already looking so stinking cute. What do you guys think? I think it's just adorable. So like I said, I am going to have to make at least one, so I can keep in my craft room to stash some goodies away. But I love the all these little flowers that I have in my little bowl, so that way I can put them around, and then it's just easy once you have them all cut out. And I was actually cutting those out. Some of them I did at home, but some while we were driving around. So since my husband was home, he was the one driving, and I was able to do my cutting. And so if you guys are running around or doing things, and somebody else is driving, this is a good way to kind of make the time pass and get things, kind of be productive on the road. But like I said, I was just decorating it with all these little flowers, because spring is coming, and I wanted to include that as well onto the little mailbox, so it could be kept out for all year round if she wants to. But I didn't want to embellish it anymore. This is all the embellishing I did on it, because I kind of wanted to leave it a little bit clean, simple, and make it look a little classy. But yeah, I think it came out really cute, so let me know what you guys think. So now it is time for me to put all my goodies into this box to go away. And I have, since I've been making some cards, I wanted to include some of the cards that I've made for her, and that way she could use them. So I am including this one, and this is a Valentine's theme. And then this other one, this is a birthday card, but because we always have a birthday in our lives at some point, so that way she can have a card ready and handy to mail out or to hand out to somebody if she wants to. So that's those two cards. I always like to put them in that clear acetate. Now this little straggler paper wanted to go, but I had to take it out. So I made this other little card, and this is a little bit smaller than the A2 size, but it's like a note card, and I color that little image with watercolors, and just kind of layer some images and some flowers to make the card that I was going to be putting my message. And here's my little box, and I'm just trying to see what I am going to be including. But I wanted to also make up, a few of the little note cards, Valentine's note cards, that she could use to give out for Valentine's. I'm not sure if she has kids, but she could give it to her kids as well, or send it to teachers, or do like little love notes. So I used that using some of the cut up parts from the paper pad, that paper pad, the pebbles. I absolutely love it. It's so stinking cute, and I just can't get enough of it. I am going to be very sad though when I run out of it because it is so adorable. But I was using some twine, a little bit of fun, to add in a little bit of fun element to tie them together, and then just make it look like a little stack of notes. That's what's going inside my little mailbox. And then I found this really adorable gumball machine at Walmart when I went the other day, and I thought it was super cute. I of course bought one for myself, and I decided to put one in there because it was a perfect size. I put a little sequin pack that I just kind of made with a little bag topper, and I also wanted to share with her this paper pad from Pebbles. Like, can you see how adorable those sloths and the llamas are? I included those, and I also included some foiled um, papers that I had in my stash that I wanted to share with her. So here is a little mini paper pack with some clips that I used, a little sloth and a flower paper clip that I made. I also made these little bows and put them into one of those little cards in a little baggie to kind of make a little treat of bows. And I used one of these milk cartons from a box that I purchased a Tuesday morning a while back, and I have a few of those. It has a little tape that you can close it up, but I just left it open. It has a few goodies in there, and then I was trying to use one of these clips to clothespins to close it, so I decided I was gonna put it that side. I pin a bow on it to just kind of decorate it, and decorate it with some flowers, just to leave it a little simple. So I am sharing a few of those boxes here so she can make some more, and just put one of those little cut aparts to make it look nice. Here are some of the rosettes I made. I did the little back topper, but this is backwards, and then here is more rosettes that I decorated with some of those flowers that I made. I've actually been making a lot of these paper flowers, and they're a lot of fun. And I have this little pen and little notebook that I wanted to send, and I made little paper clips with the bows, and then this little cute donut that is some coloring that I've been doing. Did some die cutting. Here's a little tag that I put onto that little milk carton to kind of dress it up a little bit. And for that little notebook, I got it also at Walmart, and I actually only had one left, so I couldn't send more, but I did a die cut off a flower. Now, another thing I wanted to send is just this goodie. I saw everybody raving about this recipe stamps, and I don't know if she has it already, but I wanted to send it as well. Just in case if she already has this, you could maybe share it with somebody else. So I am trying to put all of this so I can package it and send it to her. And I wanted to put a little bit of tissue paper in there because I didn't want my goodies to be shaking too much, and I was afraid that the box will get squished, or something will come apart in transit. So I was trying to make sure I make it as snug as possible. So I have my little box and all of my goodies ready to go, and I grabbed one of the boxes that I already have here in stash. I do like recycling, so I'm using a box that I had from Amazon. I altered it a little bit so that way it could fit, and it wasn't too big or too small to fit everything. But I am just putting in here the mailbox and the little milk carton, just trying to think of how it's gonna be packaged up and how it's gonna look when she receives it. So I'm just trying to make sure all of the things go in here. Guys, I absolutely love doing swaps. This is so fun, putting something together, and especially because you're putting a swap together for another crafty friends that they're absolutely going to love, because they are crafty as well, and they are going to enjoy what you're sending and the time that you're putting in there. Add a little bit of crinkle paper. I had some of this mix that has red and gold, and I thought it was very pretty. So I just sprinkled a little bit of that, covered it with another piece of tissue paper, and my packaging was done. I almost forgot the little notebook, so I was able to put it back in there. And then when I was done, I almost forgot the card. So I made, the card that I was just writing her a sweet message or a little message for her. But this is my mailbox. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that she loves everything that I created, because I did it with all my love. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.